Tribe. Rastaman here today with another one, just like the other one. I had gotten so sick. See? I don't know if that happens to everyone, but whenever I get so sick or a flu, like, it really affects me really bad, especially a flu. I think I've had so many other people say that it affects men like that. Welcome, my name is Ian. Let me open this. Today is going to be a very interesting video. Today will be a very interesting video, that I guarantee, tribe. Everyone who's going to be tuned in to this, parents, everyone, it's going to be private thoughts. We are going to say from 19 to 29-year-old. They are going to be very private thoughts, and this will be just my experiences, and I'd love to know if you share, or if you've ever shared the same experiences as I am going to discuss today in this video. I'm just setting up here where we're going to sit. It is going to be basically like a video essay. So I'm going to have here a script that I've written that I'm going to follow, so that you know how serious I am with this. So as I've said, it's going to be private thoughts over 19, and specifically we're going to target something very, very specific that I'm sure every person in between 19 to 29 is experiencing or have experienced, and some of them they're going through them, some of them have battled and have won. So it's going to be very, very, very specific, and if you are a parent, I'd love for you to share this with the people or person that this may be for. Yeah, it may be for someone, and you know that person. Let this message get to them. And if you're in any of this age gap, you've gone through this, you felt this, let us know in the comment below. Most parents who are going to watch this, they will know what is going on in their children's minds. I've divided them into 3 segments. It's going to be first from 19 to 24, 19 years to 24 years. That is 6 years. 6 years, 19, 24. From then 24 to 28. Yeah, then 28 to, let's say, 29 as it goes on now from there. But the main part will be this 24 to 28. You will get to know why, my reason of doing this as the video progresses, and it's going to be like a Easter egg hidden somewhere. And if you do find out the reason, I'll be reading it here. I've written it so many times over and over again. If you hear the reason and you find the reason, kindly let us know in the comment section as well. Let the rest know, okay, I have listened to the whole essay, and I think this is the main reason to why this young man has decided to share with us this. My journey is to inspire, not to depress. It may be a depressing story, but the reason is to inspire. We are going to use this book as a guide. I'll be sharing with you pictures of the book as we move on, like where I'm reading this from, and they're all dated. My name is Ian. I'm a father now. I'm a creator, and as I've said, you get to know in this video the deep reason why I'm sharing this as I'm doing. And I do hope we really get to learn something here today. Let's get right into it. We'll start with my 20s. This will be from 19. So it will be basically my private thoughts during that time, what I was thinking, what I was feeling, so that we can also understand. I'm a father to a son, so I'd really love to share some of the experiences I had. These experiences, I'm sure some of the people who will be watching, and also him when he'll get to watch, it'll be going through him, these experiences. So between my 19 and 24, the early stages of 19 to 24, basically 20 to 24, oh man, this was the period that I was questioning everything. I was questioning literally everything. I was questioning religion, I was questioning humanity. There was nothing that I wasn't questioning, and there was nothing that I wasn't using. I was using all sorts of drugs. I was a big drinker, I was a big smoker, I was stopped going to church. I basically was indulging in everything that I could get my hands on. I was using everyone. I was using my friends, I was using my girlfriend, I was using my parents, anyone who was there. I'd call. That was the period that I remember I used to call everyone and just lie so that I can get money out of them, I can get a favor out of them, I can get something out of them. Man, this period I was questioning everything, and I was using everyone. Literally, there was no one who I could meet and not strategize how I'm going to use this person, or I'm going to lie to this person, or because there was always an agenda and I was questioning everyone. It's like I used to walk with a knife right behind my back 24/7, very anxious, very nervous, and mostly in that period I could not see it ever ending. Man, I could never see this period of my 20s there, 21, 22, 23, man, ending. Especially at 22 there, I was something else. And I've met a lot of friends of mine who are at that age, and I see the exact same patterns that I had then. Lost, nowhere, like I didn't care about anything. I had no future. I didn't even want a future. Anyone who tried and tell me, please fix yourself for the future, they became enemies. Immediately you become an enemy. There isn't so much to know about that because I was very lost then. It's the sort of person that I'm sure the people who are in it right now, they really feel the whole world is not understanding them. I really am compelled to share what I need to share today, so we are going to share it either way. Compelled is the word. Yeah. So basically my early 20s, and this, I believe, there's a term that I always tend to use, is peers of the same group are going through the same things. Peers, so anyone who is 24, they're going through what a 24-year-old is going in the whole world. You are not alone. Some of us, you may think that you're alone. No, there are people who are exactly your age and they're going through exactly what you're going through. Mentally, they're in a different, they might be in space, but they're going through what you're going through. Peers of the same age group go through the same thing. It's natural, it's part of the human process. So during that time, I was going through a lot of challenges in life. Yeah, so many challenges. It's unbelievable that I survived actually my early 20s, and it's unbelievable actually I survived that. And I believe everyone who's gone through that, they can't believe they made it through their 20s. It's crazy. Yeah, so here's where we're going to go straight into the book now. What is this book here? This book, I've mentioned it before, and it's actually, I started documenting my life when I was in that early stages of my 20, the one that we just discussed right now. I started writing just everything, I was just writing, and we'll get to see what I was writing. I was documenting them. I was writing up to the date. Some of them even the time, like the one that we're going to begin with. There is a time when you see on the left corner, you'll see time and date. Everything was well documented, and I did not know why I was writing it down then, but I just felt I needed to write these things down. I had from a lot of motivational speakers, write it down. So I just began writing it down, and this is where we will begin. We will begin on 12th. So this is 2020. We will begin in 2020, January, February, March, April 12th. Yeah, April 12th. Even the time is there, 20. So this is like 8 p.m. Yeah, 8:30 p.m. Around that time, 8:30 p.m. is when I wrote what you're looking at right now. It begins like this. I pray to my God I be independent, to be an independent man. I woke up and asked to be blessed on this day. I have acquired so much knowledge. Truly God, my Father, hears me. I'm grateful for getting to give. So these are some of the people who I met on that day. So this, as I've told you, it's 8:30 in the evening, and I was just now reflecting on my day, and this was what I felt that day. I've acquired so much knowledge, and immediately we begin with what I need, and I decided not what I need, but what I pray for is to be independent. And on that day I met a person called Manu, Kolo, some guy. We'll break them down who they are. Paul, Sang, Alan Thuku, AANIQA, and myself. So those are the people who I interacted with on this specific day that I've documented here. Okay, let me first give you a picture of where I am at in this moment. So 2020 is, the whole world was going through COVID at this exact time. The whole world, it had arrived Kenya as well, COVID, so it was everywhere. In location, I was in a place called Kapsabet inside a place called Baraton, now in a small location around Baraton area. So it was a very interior place, very village. It was literally deep in the village. It was so this is where I was staying. It was basically how can I call them, one room. It was just one room with a toilet, a bed sitter with a toilet and a sink where you could do your dishes. Basically just a room, like literally a room. Yeah, so this is where I was at this moment. There were 5 houses, I think, there. Yeah, 5 houses. They were actually hostels. Yeah, hostels like houses. So that's where I was staying inside. Hostels meaning university accommodation place. University accommodation place. The early months of 2020, and it was deep COVID. AANIQA had just left, so I was completely alone. Everyone in the compound had left. There was no one. I think it was just my brother, who was staying in another house just the same as mine, and now the caretaker, who was Manusang. So now you can see where I was, in this small room, and in the evening now is where I'm documenting. You know, there was no even television, no radio, no nothing. Just I had a smartphone and that's it, and no even internet to use the smartphone. So I met a person called Manusang on that day. That was the first person I met. He's always been the caretaker, so he used to come and just we talk in the morning and just, you know, catch up. Kolo and this other guy, Kolo and some guy, they were digging a well. Here it's in the village, so there wasn't running water or government assisted running water. So people there, we were going in, specifically the place I was staying, they were digging a borehole for us to get water. So Kolo and this guy are the people who were digging the borehole on that day, and I was actually the third person. We were 3 of us digging a borehole, and one day I will tell you about the story about the borehole and why I was digging a borehole during that time. But that is not the main focus of the journey today. They're the people who I met during that day, and Paul Sang was actually the landlord now, or the owner of the houses. And the reason why he came, it was a tough time during that time, especially for me. It was a very tough time, really tough time, and you're going to see why even I choose to document this. And as I always say, my journey is not to depress, it's to inspire. Yeah, because in my mind I believe all these things that I'm talking about, everyone has gone through them. Like, people write down their thoughts. I'm not the only special person. You who's watching, I believe in my mind, I know. So I'm not going to make it like my story is the depressing story. No, my story is just to inspire you in your journey as you go on. So Paul Sang had actually come to collect his rent from me, and I think I was months without paying. Then it was just 5,000 Kenyan shillings, which was about $50. That was the rent, and each month, and it had accumulated. It had reached almost $200-300. So he was a very fast understanding person. Knowing from the background I was coming from, he was very understanding to me and my family. He was very understanding. So the reason why I met him that day and why I wrote his name is because he came to collect his rent, which I didn't have. Very understanding. And also Alan Tuku was my brother. He used to stay in the same place there as well. And now AANIQA used to talk. AANIQA is my wife. Then she was my fiance, yeah, my girlfriend. Yeah, so we used to communicate every single day, every day. In the evening, we must talk. So I just finished talking to her and also to myself, you know. I've been alone the whole day. So I told God, thank you for the blessings that I've received from those people. And I was going through a lot. I was going through a lot of questioning, and so I was just trying to like make life make sense. So I was just saying thank God for the blessings that I received from this person. So in 2020, how old was I then? So I'm currently 28. In a few days I'll be turning 29 now. January 1st, actually, to be specific. So when you take away 4 years, I'll be 24, exactly 24. So in this part of my book that we'll be going through, I'll be targeting since my 20s, my early 20s. I can say basically those are lost. There's nothing to my early 20s. Those are lost years. And part of the reason why I'm sharing this is you who is watching and you're in your early 20s, don't let it be a lost year as it was for me. I know these things are hard to hear, but start by maybe writing down your thoughts, and we'll get to that. Now you can imagine I'm 24. I just turned 24. This is on the 4th month of the year, so it's still very early. COVID is there, so now you can have an image of who I was, especially at the age of just 24, because 24 is when I began writing. That's when actually the main part of my life, or is when like the gears of my life started turning, and motion. There was motion in my life at 24. I believe at 24. In fact, even when I wrote here in my book, where you see I wrote Ian Focus 28 Focus, I was 24 years old, and I was targeting this year that has I'm just winding up. God has been good. I'm just winding up the year. So that specific day, while I was winding up, I even mentioned the food I ate. I had chapati and beans. These are some staple food in Kenya, chapati and beans, and I was very grateful for that as well, like deeply grateful. And that day we called it an end. And as we go on, we're just going to go read through this, what I had written, and the documentation. Then we can break them down very well. So the next day, early in the morning, remember this, the previous day it was at night, 8 p.m. 12th. So this is 13th. The next day 8 as well, 8:06 a.m. Around the same time, prayed last night for the devil not to find a home within me. I was going through a lot this time, and too many things. And just to cut the story short, in this specific prayer I was praying due to I was a person who used to really disgrace my body in manners that people who are in that state understand. I used to disgrace my body so much, and I used to feel that was me allowing the devil to come and dwell in my body, which wasn't allowed at this point now when I'm finding myself. So I woke up, and my prayer, I prayed last night for the devil not to find a home in me, a home within me right now. So what I prayed for surely came in overnight. I felt God. Blessings of this day have begun. Was in prison, and I talked to God that night. I slept in my house. So basically I slept in my own body, and I did not allow the devil to come and sleep in my own body. That's the whole of that night. And I prayed before I slept, and I woke up. I just prayed and slept the whole night. Normally I used to wake up, and the devil is there scratching your back in the middle of the night. On that page, as we close to that page, on the last thing that I wrote, I asked to be independent. And who am I asking? I'm asking you, my God, my Father. I had to specify. For some reason, I just needed to be specifying these things. And this, I was 24, and I'm going through a lot. Not believe like at a 24-year-old age what they're going through then. Not in the sense of I was going through a lot in the sense of having children and all of like the whole of world. In the sense of a 24-year-old, this 23, 24, 25-year-old, whoever is going through these stages in life, I was going through a lot. And this again, this is a prayer that you'll get to see a lot. The next page, so I wrote 7 things here, and these things we're going to go through them and understand why I was writing them. Some of them are very self-explanatory, some of them are this in specific I had not dated it, so I believe it was still on the same day it was still on the same day, 13th. So in God's name, number 1, I prayed to be independent. So this point independent, it's going to reappear and appear so many times in this journey that I'm going to go through specifically today. And I will explain this independent, what I meant, why I kept praying for that independence, why I kept going over and over, just the word independent. God, please make me independent. I pray to be independent. I'll get to that. So this is a 24-year-old, and I believe a 24-year-old, this is basically what they're fighting through right now as well. They want that independence from whatever it is they want. Whatever it is they're going through, they just want to be independent. And we'll get to that. I believe we'll get to that. So that was my first prayer. Second prayer, I prayed to have my own hard earned money. So then I was jobless. I didn't have a future of making money or anything like that. So that was my second prayer, to be able to find a stable, honest way of making a living, and I made it clear as well. I pray to be very wise, that's 1, successful 2, happy 3, and I pray all this to be successful, happy and wise where in God again. So you can see that constance now of God reappearing in this 24-year-old who is consistently, mentioning God consistently, and we'll get to that, we'll see as well. First of all, I'm not going to church. Then I was very, a 24-year-old understands, and I believe even the ones who are watching and the ones who are getting there, these are things that are very understandable. 24-year-old man going through a lot of things then in their own way, because I'm trying to be a man. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to understand, what does it mean to be a man exactly? Does it mean to be a God-loving person? What does it mean to be independent? What exactly was it? Number 4, I prayed to make AANIQA my wife, mother to my children. This, remember again, it's back in 2020 tribe. This was number 4 because AANIQA wasn't there with me then. She's been the woman that I've been with my whole life, and now life is getting to a point where if this was the point God is asking me, or the universe is asking me, what would you want? I definitely want AANIQA to be my wife, that's 1, then to be the mother to my children. Yeah. And as the tribe members who are watching this and they know us, this you can imagine now. I was praying this back when I was 24 years old. Yeah. So number 5, I prayed to open my business. Again, this perspective of making an honest living, and all these things that I'm praying, some of them have already happened, and we'll get to that as well. We'll go slowly so that we can get to that as well. Yeah. I prayed to open my business. That was number 5. Number 6, and why I chose 7 things is because I love the number 7. Basically, I think I was it's a number that I've been told is associated with God so much that I just took it and I love it now, and I believe it's happened to a lot of people who number 7 is their favorite number because they know it is associated with God. So I wrote 7 things in specific to make sure that I also do not just blabber, but make sure I go deep into thought and understand what exactly would I want in life as a 24-year-old. What are the things that would I want? Number 6, I pray to help empower fellow Kenyans. As a Kenyan, I'm a patriotic person. I love Kenya. I really do love Kenya so much. So I know and I pray that my journey, even this what I'm sharing, my intention is this as well, to empower my fellow Kenyans. Kenyans to understand that this journey that we are going through, you're not alone. We are all going through the same thing. It's just we don't share our stories enough. I do deeply pray to empower my fellow Kenyans as my journey goes on, and now that I have a platform where I can share my journey, I will put my best to empower my fellow Kenyans, brothers, and the whole world in general, But in this specific point, I was really deeply focused on just how I can empower anyone who's around me. I just want to empower you. Let's all go up together. Number 7, I pray to liberate every human that will come to ever hear the names Ian, Harold, Kihuha, Tuku. Those are my names, and the last one was all these things that I've prayed for. I pray to honor them so that anyone who will ever come to hear my name, I pray to liberate or just give them a sense of, goodness ahead. That's it. Yeah, to give you a sense of there's goodness ahead, or you're already in the goodness. Maybe a different perspective. Just give you a different perspective. So you can see this. I put them in God's name, and I stated 7 exact things that I pray for, and I've broken down to you why I specified to these things. So this is a 24-year-old, and in my mind, I trust that every 24-year-old, especially watching this, they do write down their thoughts and their mind. And we will get to why writing, you will see why this writing down is very important. Maybe you're new to the channel, so you don't know yet everything about who you're watching today, but at the end of the video we'll discuss them and we'll see some of these things. We'll get to see deeply what these things are. Yeah, or you can also let me know what you will think after we're done. Let me know in the comment section what the things we have read today in this book of this 24-year-old, what he was going through. Let me know what you think of that down below in the comment section. One thing that I need to remind myself and you, we also need to remind ourselves is, and I wrote it down on this same 13th also, 13th of January, February, March, April, May 2020. I have the power. I have the power. So this is constant also, power. And as a man, I believe it's something that we are all chasing. Power, power, power. So I have the power. I don't need to chase the power, it's within me. The more you think of it, the more you create. I want to be independent. I want to have my own spoils, my cup of money. 24-year-old, I believe that's the constant thing. Money, where am I going to get money? So I was going through the same thing. Money was a big part of my constant worry, and I believe it's never going to stop. Yeah, it's never going to stop. I want to have my own spoils, my cup of money, of wealth, of joy, of success to fill up. One thing that you must make sure to remember is, as you pray, be very specific. Do not just ask for the money and don't ask for peace. Don't ask for peace and forget to ask for the money. Yeah, you know, just make sure you be very specific in what you want. And this is what this 24-year-old Ian was deeply praying, especially on this exact day. Even time, it was going on during the day. I want to have my own I want to, so it's the language there that we can't really, but you can see I want to have my own car, basically, tribe, which is crazy. Yeah, so this was now the day of they were all documented. I don't know why in specific I was documenting plus the day and time, but they're all documented. I began by writing the day, dated. I don't know why, but they were dated plus time. So that day was over. Now we're moving to 14th, 4th. So remember, these are my private thoughts. These are thoughts that when I was writing them down, I never knew one day I'll be sharing them. These are very private things, you know. It may seem like it's entertainment, but when I was writing these things, I never believed one day I'll sit down to share them. So I'm sort of betraying that 24-year-old Ian by sharing this today with you, tribe, because this was a deep secret between that Ian and I. But this story is this journey needs to be shared. There's something to it that I chose this specific, out of the whole book, I chose this specific journey to talk about. So I will make sure we get to that. So remember, these are just private thoughts. Never knew anyone is going to be, in fact, some of them, as we read them, you'll see they have even spelling errors. These were just things I was writing, and I did not believe anyone is ever going to hear them. So as today I'm telling them out loud to you, tribe, and you who's listening, I believe it will make a change. So 14th, 4th, 2020, 6:25 a.m. I woke up again. I wrote it down. I'm grateful for breath of life, to have a roof over my head. I really wanted then to be able to understand, and this is the main thing, to be able to understand what is around you. I wanted to be awakened to what is around me and appreciate that, so that whatever prayer I'm going to put before God that day, I've already been grateful for what I have. And the first thing that was roof over my head, a bed, you know, my senses were working when I woke up. Everything was good. And also I woke up that day understanding what my gift was. So you see, all this prayer, all this already what is happening in these last few days. I woke up on this day, 6:52 a.m. I wrote, I now know exactly what my gift is. Connecting to anyone anything on the earth and beyond, I can connect to it. Basically, I understood that my gift is to be able to just connect to all sorts of, just connect, go to somewhere and be the best version of myself and raise the people around me as well. And in any case, so connecting to people is basically what is happening right now in my life. I'm connecting to people, and you can see then it was already, you can see, I told you, once I began this writing down, things started moving and working that I didn't know then they were working. Also, I believe this part here, last part here, I believe in brotherhood, and part of believing in brotherhood, I have, since then I came up with this sort of a brotherhood club, and I call it Luanda Magere. Luanda Magere is basically a Luo mythical hero. Yeah, we can say mythical hero or really hero. Luanda Magere. The club is called Luanda Magere. I chose that and specifically because he was a hero, and as you see, I love my community, and the only way I can be able to empower my community was to come up with a sort of club. It's called Luanda Magere Club. It's there, and I tried recruiting a few friends here and there, but they didn't work out the best. We are here today, so let's go on. So this is still on the 14th, and now it's evening. It's gotten to the evening. From this beautiful first home to my home house in Kisumu. That was the prayer that I began with on that day at 8:30 as well. So there was a constant time, as you can see also, that generally I began writing around this 8:30 in the evening and early morning. So at 8:39 on this 14th, 4th, as you can see on this page here, this house is I will come out of this house going straight to my house. That is my next destination on my journey with God. I was very sure that as I pray, I'm going to come out of that house that we've discussed, that bed sitter, go straight to Kisumu. Remember, I was in Kapsabet, place called Baraton. That is 3 hours maximum from where Kisumu is and where I was then. No money, as you can see, I'm praying for independence. COVID is hit, I'm alone, and I was so sure, tribe. As you can see, when I've documented on the time at 8:39, I'm so sure that it's crazy. God has told me this. I was in bed. I love God. He's thankful for the blessing, daily, hourly, minutely, and secondly, getting blessed. I just felt it. I was just in bed, and I just felt, you will get out of this house and you will go straight to where you want to go, son. I just felt it, and all this, it's coming, guys, tribe. There's something ahead here coming that is going to be devastating. It's going to be devastating. It's going to change the whole, it's going to shake this relationship that you see with this 24-year-old with God, this relationship that I'm praying and I'm getting this, and like what is happening, it's going to be shook to its core by what is coming ahead. Not far away from this exact date, the way I'm documenting them. Put it before God and trust in God. Something also came appearing. So the next day, 15th, 4th, 20. So when we began on the 12th. This is 15th now, the third day, early in the morning, 6:12 a.m. Blessed with the breath of life, ready to receive my blessing of this day. Blessed to have so much strength. Just I had done a few push-ups that day, so I was also appreciating for that strength that I got that day to do what I had to do that day. Grateful for my man cave. I used to call it a man cave. I'm grateful for that, for food. You know, AANIQA was the one who was constantly supporting me with food during that time. I was completely, she's the one who was, she wasn't there, so where she was, she could raise 50 bob, 100 bob. These are like 50 cents, $1. Yeah, 50 cents, $1. And during that time, it could sustain me because I was just alone and I just needed small, you just needed to survive, not to grow. Yeah. So she used to sustain me in that sense all the time. I used to be very grateful, and I'm still blessed and grateful for AANIQA till now. and what she's done in my life is beyond what I can ever imagine. So blessed to have God on my side the whole of today, because the whole night I had fought again. Remember, this time I'm going through these stages of fighting, as you can see in this page here where I've written NoFap. So NoFap is it's basically something that I wanted to incorporate in my life to help me get through out of that stage. I was alone. I was going through so many things in my life during this time, so many, and this was one of the things that I was fighting the most, is NoFap. For the ones who understand, majorly for the young men who are watching this video, I'm sure they understand what I'm talking about. Then this is what I talk about: disgracing myself, allowing the devil to take hold of me. So this was one of the things that I wanted to cut out of me completely, because I became a chronic, that person. You know, it was like now chronically, like it took a big toll in my mind. This page here that you see right now, a very big toll in me. So go to sleep a winner, respect myself and God with NoFap. To be king, to be of power, I must be king to my body first. Man, for a man, there's nothing more. If you can't take control of your body, then you can never take control of anything. You can never be a man outside. You must be the king of your own body first before you can even be anyone. So I was going through that then as well. These are, remember, private thoughts. I never knew anyone was ever going to hear this. It's even a bit, but there's no shame in this, because there's no shame in this. There's no shame in this journey. Yeah. So I must be king to my body first. I must have power of my body to conquer the world for God. For me to conquer anything in this, even in God's name, let me conquer myself first. As a man, 24-year-old, going through that, I went through it as well. It happened to me. I had to conquer my body first. There's no two way about it. For anyone, conquer your body first if you want to conquer anything else, because we allow our bodies to take a big control of our life, and that was the biggest thing that I had to stop. My body is not in control, I am in control. That was it. It was just simple. And as I go on, NoFap again. So it was really eating me up. And as you can see, the way I've written them, you can see it was eating me up. Blessing, take it, look back 24 years from here, and you will not believe. Trust in God, myself, and be grateful. So then I was saying, I look back this in 2 years, actually in 2 years. I will look back in 2 years and I will not believe where I am right now. Basically, this is 4 years now and I cannot believe where I am. When I'm looking back to what I wrote, because I chose that day to not go through that path, here is where I am today. They're connected. It's written. I began the sentence with NoFap. It's ended with, you will look back and you will be grateful to where you will be. This is where I am today, and we won't get to where I am today so much, but this is where I am today. Tribe, you know where I am today. Still the same day, 11:48 a.m. This is still the third day after we've begun this journey. I told you it's going to be a video essay. Okay, this part here, it's mostly talking about I documented what I knew about my grandmother. Everything that I knew about her, I wrote on this page. So this page, we will skip it on that day because it's not the main part. But the main part of that same day, third day, in the evening, after I told myself, after you see this hope of, I've told myself now, in 2 years you will look back, that same day, you won't believe where you are. That same day, tribe, in the evening. In the evening. 1954. So this is 7:54 p.m. Wow. 15th, 4th, 2020. Gas died. I was boiling beans. Remember, I was eating beans and chapati. Just to let you know why this point of the gas dying was a very serious stage in this journey. here in Kenya, we do not get like running gas like the rest of the Western countries. We do not get like connected gas to the house. So this is gas that we use to cook, not gas for the car. You know, sometimes also we confuse them. This is the gas that we used to cook at home. Mine was over now. We used to get them in this small cylindrical, like a few kilos. Like it was basically you need $10 to refill it, and that's what I did not have then, and there was no way I could get that. This was the only way I could be able to eat. This was the only way I was sustaining myself food-wise, because there is no takeout. This is in the village. You can't do takeout, and there is no money even for that takeout to do. You know, so far everything that has been happening, it hasn't been very, very challenging, and I believe what I'm going through I believe this is most young men and men have gone through this kind of things. I believe that being tested, you know, the world testing your skills as a man, these are things men have gone through, and some men are going through in this specific time as we speak. Even while watching this video, you know, going through some tough trials, and you're wondering how you going to get out of this situation. So how am I going to get out of this situation now that my gas is over? Let's go on reading tribe. So I documented, this was already at night, and you can't even get anywhere gas at night, meaning I'm going to sleep. Let's see, let's read. We see gas died, boiling beans. Was going to ask Auntie Wamboy. Auntie Wamboy is the sister to my mother. I was going to ask my aunt, the sister to my mother, for that $10 that I needed to go ahead and refill my gas. But I had already kept asking her. I kept asking her, and earlier that year already, as I told you, I had built this habit of using people. I called them and lied to them, and so I'd already used the excuse of gas. There was no asking her again during this time. I asked Auntie Wamboy for 1,000 shillings to get gas, but I got more than that. I got her blessing. Thankful for her, though going to sleep without a gas, I will sleep blessed. So basically I was coming to term and accept that there was no option. I was going to sleep like that, sleep with no food and anything like that. None of my family, mom or Alan, can find it in them to help. So I ask my Father God. In this statement, now hindsight, I believe there was so much pain in that statement. There was so much pain. None of my family, mom or Alan, can find it in them to help me. You know, in other terms, I've gotten myself in a situation, and I'm blaming other people. I'm like, these people are not helping me. It's like it's their right to help me. So I believe also this is a big thing that 24-year-olds any 24-year-old, any person during that age gap is going through this thing of, it is them, you know, they've refused to help me, so I'm suffering because of them. And it has nothing to do with them. Gas has ended at night, literally. You know, like, even them, they're going through their own things. You know, my younger brother is my younger brother. He's looking towards me for support. So you can see that mentality that this 24-year-old has. And in the early part of the video, when we were going through it, it was, oh, God. Now here is where my relationship with God is going to get tested. Already I'm beginning it on a very self-centered note, which a lot of, I think in your 20s, this is something that you tend to fight this a lot, you know, like I believe I was the one who was on the right. I decided, since they don't want to help me, I will go back to my God. And as you'll see as we go on, I don't know if you've realized, but most of the prayers before now, I was starting with I want to be independent. I want to do this. I want to get out of this house and go there. It was very, the word want, let's put a pin on that. Just know that early years of my life, even the ones that we've gone through, when you see, it was I want. I slept like that night, and we move on to the next day now. This is 16th, still on the 4th, 2020, 5:20 a.m. Woke up very early. I am blessed. God woke me up. Blessed for the blessings of this day. I pray and ask God to help me be an independent man. You see, this independent again, it has come up. It is the gas has ended last night, but I'm not praying for the gas. I'm praying to be independent still. I do not wake up and the first thing that I told God bless me with gas, is independence. At the end of the day, that's what I really need. I may want gas, but I need to be independent. As we go on, I pray and ask my God to help me, his son, be an independent man. Again, not just, I kept repeating it. It's something that seems this 24-year-old and a lot of 24-year-olds are going through, looking for independent. And for me, in this case now, my independence was, I was really dependent on everyone. And as I told you, my early years of my 20 years, I was already depending on drugs and alcohol and too many things to just keep my day to moving. And part of that, I was also indulging in other nonsense, nothing to build my life. So I just wanted to be independent. I wanted to be independent of all that. I didn't want to be, as I told you, my wife was the one who was supporting me then, and I was, see, if gas has ended, now I'm lost. That's how much I was dependent on everyone and blaming everyone and everything from what I just needed to be independent. And that was the constant thing that I kept praying. Probably that's what you're praying for, to be independent as well. I pray for my cup to be filled with spoils, and when I make it, I will tell everyone where to find God. I promise to let you know where to find God. When God blesses me and I find God, I will make sure to tell you where to find God as well, so that you can get your blessings as well. Now here is where the battle begins, tribe. This part here is where I believe I definitely fought with God, because what I went through this point here, it's the point that really connected me, sealed the final seal with the relationship that I had with God. So from this point here, we're going to take a break there, and I'd love to know what you think of this in the comment section below. Should we go on with this journey of going through my book the way we're going through it? Is it a way that I can be able to motivate you to begin writing? Especially now that when we're taking a break and we reflect where I am before we go on from there, where I am today. Among the 7 things that I wrote when I was 24 years old, how many things have come to reality? And if some of the things you find they've come to reality in my life, I'd love for you to also begin your writing journey. So I prayed to be independent, let's say financially, in any way. I am today. I am in my own home. I am in my own home now. I'm being able to make a living on a day-to-day basis without having dependent on other things and other people to help my chain of thought, or I go to get or just someone who I'll run to. There's no one like that now in my life that I can run to, so I am fully independent. Okay, I pray to have my own hard-earned money. With our platform, Rakistani here, I get to make my daily bread, honest daily bread. As much as I put the work out, there will be returns to it. It's very honest way, and that was my second prayer. My third prayer was, and is still, I pray to be very wise, successful, and happy in God's hand. These are things that I believe are constant. They will never stop evolving. I'll always find more wisdom in life. In every day, I'll always find more wisdom. I'll always grow wiser. As long as I am open to that, I will always grow wiser. I will always be successful as long as I'm in God's hands. There is no doubt to that. In God, I found my success. So as long as I'm in God's hand, I'm successful. Where I am today, having my family around me, having gotten, I've married and I've had my son now, success is following me now. Success is all over me now. So I'm blessed. I have more life in me. I have more life within me and around me now. I have more love. Success is with me as long as I'm in God's hands. I prayed to make AANIQA my wife. That was my fourth prayer. Last year, I managed to get this. I managed to be able to make AANIQA my wife officially, which was, I can't believe also that also happened in my life. All these things, I wrote them when I was 24. I was going through everything, and all those things I was going through, but I wrote this, and I decided to see the good things ahead in my life, and mother to my child. I think tribe, now that the ones who have known me, they know our journey. AANIQA is the mother to my child. AANIQA became my wife. Everything so far until this fourth one has come to reality. I wrote these things 4 years ago. I wrote them on the exact date of 13th January, February, March, April 2020. That's the exact date. My 5th, I prayed to open my business. I do consider our YouTube channel a sort of business. As much as it is a content creation, there's so much behind it that it definitely is a business, and I take it as a business. I take it as a business. I respect it, and it's not just a way of recreation. No, it's a business for me, content creation. So I already started my business, very successful, step by step. We're building, each day we're building, all of us, you, my wife, everyone is building. We are here to build. Number 6, I pray to help empower fellow Kenyan, and that's why I'm doing this as well right now. I pray my journey will inspire you, will empower you to begin this, to make a book your best friend. As a 20-year-old, making a book your best friend, I think it'll really help us, especially men. Making a book your best friend, that's where you write, you document, and mostly you see good things ahead. When you write, you see good things ahead. Though you're in a state that you may not, you see good things ahead. So for every Kenyan who's watching this, between this age gap that I've given, or any age gap, and you've never decided to write, get a piece of paper, get a book, get a diary, start writing your thoughts. These are private thoughts. No one is going to be, these are your private thoughts, so just write them down, and let my experience be the one to inspire you to begin your writing journey as well. And the last one, I pray to liberate every human that will come ever to hear the names Ian Harold Kiwatu. I pray this conversation has gotten to liberate you in ways that you will look back and you will thank yourself. As I've looked back 2 years, as I said I was going to look back 2 years, and I've looked back 4 years from the days I wrote these things. Man, I'm thanking myself for writing. I can tell that, Ian, thank you for writing. And thank you for writing. There's nothing I would ever go and tell myself, do it differently. No, you did it the best. If you're here today, you did it the best. You did it the best, because I do have no regrets. I have no major regrets in my life that 24-year-old, apart from betraying myself today and talking about these private thoughts. Yeah. So to close, no, not closing, to take a break, we'll take a break, and you will let us know in the comment section what this writing down and what I've read today, what it may have meant to you, what you may have gotten from it. As I've mentioned, it's an age gap over the 20s, so if you know anyone between this age gap, let them hear this message. It's time for them to begin writing. It's our duty to make sure this message gets to them. As we wind up, remember, peace, proper education, always correct error. Yes, proper education always correct error. Through writing it, I've been able to correct myself in the years that have gone by. I'd love to inspire, not to depress. I'd love to be able to let you, as we go on with this journey, not just today, not just in this video, but to also inspire you and let you know that God is within us. I always say the good within me is where to find God. Yeah, the good in me is where to find God. So if you're trying to find God within me, or I'm trying to find a God within you, I look for the good in you to find God. That's my personal way of looking at it. And I have mentioned the reason why I choose to do this. I have made it clear as I've gone through this video today. So if you have again taken note of what my big push towards this is, towards sharing my experiences, sharing my journey, let us know in the comment section. I'd love to see if one of us got to get the hint. But as we go on, I will get to expand on this and we'll discuss more. And first, it's a process, so I don't want to force feed this kind of my lifestyle slowly as we go. It's a process. Share with us in the comment section as well if you've felt this sort of battles that I've battled in this specific part of the book. So because the age gap of this is between 19 and 29, if you are in a broader age gap, let us know. If you are a bit older, you can let us know in the comment section actually your age. Yeah, I'm 28 turning 29, and let us know what age you are that this video got to you when you got to watch it. And yeah, if you do write, let us know if you write. Has it ever changed your life? Let the people who will get to read the comment section be inspired as well with your journey in the comment section. If you are in this age gap of 19 to 29, you can't find someone to talk to, you can't find someone to share, I would highly recommend that you get a book and a pen and make that your friend, make that where you go to share. And most people, you might worry that people will tamper with your book, but most people are so focused on their life, no one will care what you're writing in your book. Keep it close to you, don't leave it everywhere and anywhere, and try make this your best friend, especially if you're going through that one of these stages or any of these stages that we've talked about. A book will be the beginning of the machine to start moving, and that's what we need, the machine to start moving, and everything goes on. They say the first step is yours, the rest leave it to the universe. As we close, and where I am today and where I was 4 years ago, writing down works. Writing down works. It works. It is something I'd love for you to begin. My family does it, Lim will do it. Part of being of the tribe, I'd love for you to write down your thoughts. This is for you, just for you. So in my own experiences, writing down works. And from the next part of this video, we'll discuss my battle with God and how I managed to overcome this, those tough times, how I managed to overcome them. Yep. Peace.
That part, no.
That part. We thought our cops ahead, man.
The video.
And Mazi have fucked up my DL, seen a DL, so normally. Yeah, imagine that's how tough today is for you guys. Faster in this our generation than previously. Actually, their maturity level is going down with the years. Like the younger they are now, the mature they are.